Alright, we're going to go through how to put together the wheels, the suspension, and the tracks as step 2 in our build guide. What you're going to need is all 10 of your road wheels, your 2 drive wheels, your front idler wheels, 10 end caps, 10 C-clips for your suspension, your 5 left and your 5 right suspension arms. You'll need all of your track pieces. To assemble the tracks, you're going to need just some regular filament. I prefer gray because it looks like metal pins. You'll need 2 bevel head screws, M3, to secure your inside and outside tensioner arms together. And then you need 12 M3 socket head screws to hold the end caps, to hold your wheels in place. You also need some silicone grease, sandpaper, a knife, and then whatever tools you have for your M3 screws. Lastly, you'll need a lighter for your tracks. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take and prep all of our suspension arms. So when they're done, they should spin freely like that. When you first print them, I mean, they won't even fit inside, but you can fix this real quick. To prepare the suspension arms, right here on this flat side that faces the bed of the printer, you're going to get an elephant foot a lot of times. The slightest amount of elephant foot is going to keep this from going into the wheel. So all we're going to do is we're just going to cut that away on each side. And you're also going to do it on the side of the suspension arm that goes inside the hull. This piece also faces the printer, and that hole gets a little bit of elephant foot right on the edge. So you can take your knife or some sandpaper and just get rid of that. So just look around real quick. Fold the sandpaper into a cone. Alright, so this one doesn't spin freely yet, so I'm going to hit it with the sandpaper a little bit more until it does spin freely. Almost there. Alright, so that's what you're looking for. You want it to spin at least that freely. Now, you can take a little bit of the silicone grease. Just need a small amount. Just rub that into the axle. Should be good. You're going to do the same thing that we did for the outside for the hull. So we take our hull, and you want these arms to just fall straight down. If they're up and they stay up and they don't fall down on their own with gravity, you need to sand them a little bit more. That's going to stop your suspension from actioning the way it's supposed to. Alright, now that all our suspension arms are prepped and they're going to fit in there good, first thing we can do is add our magnets to all the suspension blocks. Next thing we want to do is take our magnets, make sure they're opposing, and install them in our suspension arms. Now that all our magnets are in, start installing our arms into the side. Side with the clip groove goes into the side. Take one C-clip, just press it over. Alright, the next step is to install track tensioner. This is the outside, this is the inside. Install on each side and lock together. When you put this on, this hole should be on like the top left, facing towards the top of the hull. If you get this on there wrong, it's not going to work out. So just make sure it's facing forward. And you're going to secure this with your bevel head screw. Alright. When you're finished, it should be tight to the body. And then pushing this screw down, or turning it down, will push the arm down, giving you some track tension. Just do the same thing for the other side. The next step is to install the road wheels, idler wheel, and drive wheel. We'll start with the drive wheel. It's simply a square peg and a square hole. You can put some glue on here. I usually don't. It never comes off. It's a pretty snug fit. Lets me take it apart later if I want to. While we're back here, something I skipped in the last video was lubricating these gears. Super simple. Just put some on there, put some on here, but the place you're worried about is in between as well. So cake some on here, just get down in there, let the gear pick it up. Really, that'll work itself around. That's all the more you need. Next, we'll assemble a road wheel. Start with this one. Simply slide it over, get an end cap, and put a 3M screw. Alright, now we're going to put our idler wheels on. Alright, tracks. Tracks are pretty simple. I'm not going to do a whole build guide on the tracks, but you have alternating tracks. One is going to have a drive lug and one is going to be flat. You're going to alternate them and they're just going to interlock these two pegs into those 2 holes. And finally, you're going to slide a piece of filament through, cut it to length, and burn the ends. And I'll show that now. Take your lighter, just melt the end, and then give it a light press. That's going to make it look kind of like a pinhead. You can just do that to the other side. Just repeat that a bunch of times and you'll get your tracks. We'll go ahead and put those on now. Once you have all your track links assembled, you can go ahead and install them on the tank.